Hi guys, GuyCushion9 here with a new webcam. Yeah, as well as a follow-up to an update video earlier that I made. I guess we should address the camera first. So yeah, as you can see me again, which is kind of funny because when I built my new computer, I actually didn't even consider the whole webcam to really be a serious issue, because like, if you look at one of my older computers, the Lenovo that I brought down in Grenada, you can kind of see, like, if I can get the damn thing right, because it's flipped, it's oriented, mirrors and stuff. You can see like that little camera there. All the laptops I've ever owned personally have had, or all laptops, and they all have webcams built into them. So I actually mentioned like what camera I should get when I went out the other day, and I managed to find one on sale for Best Buy. So I can do streams with that again if I wanted to. So it was really the major deterrent for me during streams, because I kind of wanted to have a little head cam and sort. But there's that. But like I said, the main reason why I wanted to do this is more or less a follow-up to the video I made last time. So in case you guys hadn't seen that, basically what the situation was is that I decided to suspend the Dragon Ball Xenoverse Let's Play because copyright looked like it was going to be a big issue with that project, and I really don't want to deal with that again. So I've been kind of sitting around trying to figure out what else I could do. I thought about a couple of options. Like, I feel like Fable 3 is always on the table, and people have been mentioning me to maybe do KOTOR 2. Thing is, I don't really feel up to really doing either of those yet. But I have come up with 3 suitable alternatives, and basically what I was gonna do when I was deciding on Xenoverse or maybe something else was that I originally was gonna go public with whatever I was thinking about doing, because one thing I really like doing with my channel is involving you guys as much as possible, because one, I'm very horribly indecisive, and two, like, I always kind of like felt like you guys, I mean, you kind of drive the channel a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere without you guys, so like I feel like I should give you guys, you know, a little bit of freedom of choice, or at least poke me in a particular direction, or poke me away from a particular direction. I don't know. I decided against that. I wanted to surprise you all with the Dragon Ball project, and that one kind of bit me in the butt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just say what I'm thinking about doing, and basically I just want you guys to comment how you think that would be, like if it's a good idea, if it's a bad idea, like if a particular game has copyright issues, or if they're known not to. But well, let's just go ahead and get started. So like I said, I have 3 games in mind. 2 of them would be pseudo blind playthroughs. They're kind of like games that I've actually done a bit of playing in, but like I never finished, so like I technically haven't beaten it before. So there will be maybe 1 or 2 parts that would be completely blind to me. And then the 3rd game I have actually beaten, so that's on the list, but there's a reason why I'm keeping that one a little bit lower on the little scaling. But the first one, I actually mentioned this on Twitter already. Back, I think it was the last project I did with Crystal Star Studio before we just kind of like stopped, was Ratchet & Clank. I did it with some Kirby and the Pasta King, and I always thought that was a pretty fun project, and it was really fun playing that game. I'm not going to be doing that game. Instead, I'm going to be doing its sequel, which is Going Commando. I want to make sure I get this, like, I have to deal with new webcams, so like they're always kind of different, and it's also really shiny, if you can't tell already. But how this came into my collection was that while I was playing through Ratchet & Clank on my own to get to the point that I had to start recording, because like I recorded pretty much the last third of the game, I was having an enjoyable time. This was before the Ratchet & Clank HD collection was a thing. Either that or it was still full price. And like, I don't know if you can see like that, like, if I could bring it up, that's $5.99. I got this for $6. And I actually got the 3rd one, it's over there somewhere too, in my little PlayStation collection. But, I mean, I don't want to play this 3rd one without playing the 2nd one. I'm a really big stickler about that, because I don't want to miss anything. Mass Effect has just forever ruined me in that regard. because like Mass Effect's a game that you have to play from the start if you want to get everything out of it. I mean, I know Ratchet and Clank isn't like that, but I still want to, you know, not skip ahead or anything like that. But that is an option. I've played through most of the game. I got to like, I think I had like a planet or two to go before I had to deal with the final boss. I don't remember any issues coming up with Crystal Star Studio when we put that project up. I mean, Insomniac, I think in general has been pretty friendly about their IPs, and yeah, it'd be an interesting thing to do. Like, I'd have like, one of my reasonings, like, I have two reasonings for like doing a project nowadays. One is I've beaten the game and I really liked it, or it's a game that I want to beat. And if I do a Let's Play of it, it kind of forces me into beating it instead of just like dropping it because of lack of interest, or something more exciting comes up, or I get bored with it, or, well, hopefully the bored option doesn't come up because then that would make a terrible project. But you kind of see what I mean. I had some really good things to say about the game when I was playing it versus the first one. Like, some of the weapons were improved during the second one, and of course it's it's Ratchet and Clank, so you have good humor in there. The weapons are always fun to use in that series, so I mean, that's option number one. Option number two is a much more blind project, and this one I did mention on Twitter a long time ago, though not this game in particular. If you guys think back to the recent Video Game Awards, the one in 2015, I promised that if a particular game won Game of the Year, I'd buy it because it was on sale for 50% off, but I was on the fence. It won the thing, I bought it, there's proof of it on my Twitter, and that game's not on the list. I, of course, speak about Witcher, and what I'm referring to in particular is the first Witcher, which would be Witcher Enhanced Edition. That's the one I have. I got that one off GOG.com. I don't have a physical thing, though. I'm probably just going to put it up on the screen as I mention it. So it's been up there for a couple of seconds now already. I got all my Witcher copies through GOG, so... But people have just been raving to hell and back about Witcher, and... well, Witcher 3, primarily. That a lot of people have claimed that game to be the best game of the year from 2015, and for probably very good reason. It looks like a very fun game to play. I really want to play it. But, as I mentioned before, I'm a very big stickler about going from the beginning and make sure I don't miss anything. And Witcher has a lot of lore to it, and complications and stuff like that. So this is definitely not the game that I just want to jump into 2 and 3, which are... I've heard that like 2 is a massive improvement over 1. I know a lot of people didn't like the combat in 1, and the graphics have definitely not aged very well. It kind of has like a similar problem that I had with Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I can't play that game for the life of me just because the graphics are just too horrible in that game. Witcher... It skirts the line, but it's to the point that I can still play it and I can still enjoy it, and I really want to play it, and I really want to enjoy it. And I think it'd be interesting seeing a quasi-blind playthrough, because I didn't really get very far in it. Like, I finished, like, the first major act. Like, I got out of that, like, little farming village area or something like that into the first major town. And then, like, I lost interest at some point. I did some things inside the town, but I didn't really go very far because something happened. I don't know. I don't think it was inside the game. I don't think anything inside the game scared me off. I just, like, lost interest, or something big came up, like I mentioned before. So it'd be something I'd really be motivated to do. And I've heard very nice things about CD Projekt Red. They're very nice to gamers, and they just treat people very nicely. I mean, if you see any of the little thank you letters that they've had in like physical copies of Witcher 3, so I feel like it'd be a pretty cool project to do. And I like RPGs. Now, the third one is the game I've beaten, but because, well, let me just say the issue right now. The issue is Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game. That's horrible to say. Like, you know, I don't want to do something because it's Nintendo, but I mean, it's kind of gotten to the point. Because, I mean, we've gotten to the point where, like, even some of the older games, they've started attacking, because usually it's because they put it on the Wii U eShop, and because, like, I know, like, the big example was Luka Jin with her Superstar Saga LP. I can't remember the timing of when that game came out. Either like the game was slated to come out, or it had come out fairly recently and she was playing it on there. But she had a miserable amount of time wasted having to fight copyright issues and stuff like that. Where like I want to say Lucky's played it before. He may have done a project on it, in which case, like, or I don't know, I can't remember. But, like, I remember, like, that game not really being much of an issue in the past, and then, like, when it got added to the eShop, Nintendo suddenly just started attacking it, and I've heard that for a lot of the other, like, older Nintendo games that have gone on the eShop. Now, I don't remember offhand. I probably should have checked this before starting making this video. But the game I had in particular is actually one of the reasons why I got the regular DS capture card, and that is Canvas Curse, which is actually one of, like, I think lore-wise one of my well, there's not much lore to it, but I really like this game. It's one of my favorite Kirby games for whatever reason. No, I don't have Rainbow Curse. I need to get it, among a bunch of other Wii U titles. But, I love Canvas Curse to death and back. It's one of my favorite DS games. I've never 100%ed it, though, because the challenges were always very hard for me, especially, like, the balloon one I remember was an absolute, just awful. I never got, like, more than one medal out of that challenge. I mean, I've gotten all the medals in all the courses. It's the challenge part. That's the part where it would be an issue. But like I said, I feel like that might be a game Nintendo might attack. And I don't know. There's a chance. I think they actually added it on there recently. Again, I probably should have looked it up. I meant to do that and I forgot, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll probably find out after the video, or when you guys will tell me before I find that out. I don't know. But, I mean, that's the third option. That would be, like, give me a chance to bust out the DS recording device, assuming it still works, because I actually did bring it down to Grenada, because that was, like, one of the few consoles I could actually record off of, and I don't know if maybe all that movement or something like that, maybe Jimmy did it and, like, rustled it up a little bit. I assume it still works, because DS is just, they're like tanks, they never die. unless you break it. Unless you physically try to break it, they usually don't break. But the only instance I remember, like, one of those consoles breaking down was PTM's Mario Kart themed one. Like, the hinges on that one broke for some reason, I don't know. But like, that's the one game that I've completely played. I love it. Like I said, it was one of the reasons why I got a DS capture card, the other one being the Chibi Robo game. Honestly, I would consider maybe some of the 3DS games if I had a 3DS capture card, though, again, since a lot of those are Nintendo games, and, again, we know how they've been lately, so who knows? Because I know Lucky had some issues with, when he was putting up the Dream Team videos. Or I think he did. But yeah, those are the three options. So, Ratchet & Clank 2, Witcher 1, or Canvas Curse. So, like I said, in the comments below, like, I'm not going to put a poll up for now. I don't really feel like that's terribly necessary, not to mention it would make me have to delay making a decision or something like that, like the race decision did in Xenoverse. So basically just I want to know what your thoughts are on each of those games. Like, how interested would you be in seeing that? Have you known of any other Let's Player or person on YouTube doing an LP or playthrough of that game and having issues or not? Did they have fun? Did they not have fun? I mean, they're all kind of fun games. I mean, I don't doubt that. They're not like, I haven't personally, like, picked any really bad games. I mean, if I really wanted to do that, I'd Let's Play Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I have heard awful things about that game. Ooh. Mostly with glitches and bugs and stuff like that. It's not like it's a terrible game. It's no Enter the Dragonfly from what I've heard. But yeah, just, like, how good of an idea is it? How bad of an idea is it? Does it have copyright issues? Does it not? Whatever you want. And, yeah, that's more or less the purpose of this. So, this is Guy Christian 9. I'm Scratching Your Face. And Yeah, I'll take your comments under advisement, and hopefully we can get back to making videos soon. So, I'll see you guys later. Take care.